Hi, you're on the Bible Forum. Here's something under the title of Rewriting History. It comes to us from ChristianHeadlines.com. Michael Faust is the author. The School Names Advisory Committee of the San Francisco Unified Church District expects to make a formal recommendation in January, although the committee held a hearing in October in which it lists 44 school names, one-third of the total number of schools in their district. They name them as problematic. What are they talking about? Well, they're talking about renaming schools. Schools that have been named after historical figures. Figures like Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln is known among Americans as the president who helped free the slaves. But the committee views his name as being problematic because his actions led to Native Americans losing land. George Washington is championed by historians for stepping down and serving only 2 terms. But the committee wants his name removed from George Washington High School because he owned slaves. Franklin Roosevelt led the country through a Great Depression and World War II, but the committee says his name should be axed from Roosevelt Middle School because of his support for Japanese American internment camps. Anybody in this crowd know who it was we were fighting in the Second World War and why? Anybody in that crowd ever have a responsibility to protect people from possible attack problems and things? I guess not. Even U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein, a Democrat and a champion of liberal causes, is under attack. You see, her name is on Dianne Feinstein Elementary School. But the committee wants it removed, in part because she allowed the Confederate battle flag to be flown in front of City Hall in the 1980s. Many of the people on that committee probably weren't even born then. Thomas Edison's name would be removed from the Thomas Edison Charter Academy because he electrocuted animals. The committee's list also would remove the names of James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, James Monroe, Herbert Hoover, Theodore Roosevelt, John Muir, and Daniel Webster, and many others. Much of the committee's research is copied and pasted from Wikipedia, and the images of Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt comprise Mount Rushmore, which is a national park. I suppose they want that dynamited. They say uprooting the problematic names and symbols that currently clutter buildings and streets throughout the city is a worthy endeavor. This from the man who is chairman of a committee formed to discuss renaming. He says only good can come from the public being reflective and intentional about the power of our words, names, and rhetoric within our public institutions. You do know where this is leading, right? Your words. The San Francisco Mayor London Breed criticized the effort, saying districts, quote, should be focused on getting our kids back in the classroom, end of quote. To hear that the district is focusing energy and resources on renaming schools they haven't even opened, is offensive, he said. It's offensive to parents who are juggling their children's daily at-home learning schedules with doing their own jobs and maintaining their sanity. It's offensive to me as someone who went to our public schools, who loves our public schools, who knows how those years in the classroom are what lifted me out of poverty and into college. It's offensive to our children who are staring at screens day after day instead of learning and growing with their classmates and friends. President Trump this summer warned Americans that the left would not stop at attacks on Confederate monuments. He said they started off by canceling things that were controversial. And I actually said years ago, well, does that mean George Washington and Thomas Jefferson are next? And it turns out they are. I was sort of half joking, and people are now saying Trump was right. These people are crazy. They've gone stone cold crazy. No, that's not really what it is it? These people are social, political opportunists. They're getting notoriety and wealth for their efforts. And they have been taught to do this. They have been taught carefully to have these attitudes. It's what America is about today.